So, um, this is a subject that's been kind of weighing on me since quarantine kind of happened. And I'm sorry if you're hearing a bunch of traffic and everything in the background. We live right by a busy road. Quarantine whole thing has now we have time to do the things that we want to do, but that also kind of puts a stressor on finances and everything else on top of now that we have all this time, we're like, great, let's go ahead and use it. And that's where a lot of problems are coming into the picture, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. This idea that we have this time, so we need to be productive with it, and how that can negatively affect us, not just on a physical level, but also like on an emotional and mental level, especially. So I wanted to start off by reading off the definition of productivity, which, according to dictionary.com, is the quality, state, or fact of being able to generate, create, enhance, or bring forth goods and services. So this term is more used in an industrial, factory, and agricultural type sense. So that while there are some of us that work in those fields, which is admirable, and since you are working and some of them you are considered essential, thank you everybody that is working so hard during this time and trying to make some sense out of the chaos and trying to bring a little bit of order and just genuinely trying to show human compassion and interaction. And it's a beautiful thing, you guys. It's so beautiful. And that thing is, in this time, even though we're supposed to like social distance, there's still that need for connection. There's still this need to get in touch with one another, to make sure that one another is okay. And going along with the whole factory type analogy, a factory or any industrial complex it's an ecosystem of workers. They each have their own individual thing, and they make up different systems, and this turns into this huge conglomeration of different projects that end up coming together and coming out with a final product. And the African proverb, "it takes a village to raise a child," really comes through for me with this. And with that, knowing that it indeed takes a whole village to raise a child, and going back to the productivity, you are only one person. Like, you're human, you're not a machine. Machines do what they're programmed to do, and even then, machines break down from time to time. And they need to give a little TLC before they can go ahead and start back up again. And, humans, we need a lot of TLC, and we're not machines. We're not, built to just go, gotta pump this out. Like, we are more squishy. We have boundaries, we have more limits, and that's something that I feel often gets, forgotten, especially with thanks to social media, where we only see like the good, the good side of things, the happy side of things of, look, I did a thing, which is all, well and good, but it also puts this type of pressure on people that, oh, if so and so is getting, X, Y, and Z done, then I should be getting X, Y, and Z done. And that's not necessarily, what you might need. And so, going with that, what does that have to do with productivity here in quarantine? So, if productivity goes more along the lines with factory and industrial, I took productivity and I actually looked up the etymology for the word and I broke it down even more. And the root word is protocede. It's Latin. And pro means before or forth, and then ducere means to bring or lead. So putting that together, it means to bring forth. And that opens up the interpretation so much, because it's not just talking about a product, it's not just talking about, a service. It means anything that you put energy into that yields a result. That could just be getting out of bed. Even sitting up in bed. Brushing your hair. Like, it doesn't have, to me, productivity doesn't have to be this grandiose thing where you spend a little time and you pump out, a project, or, you get the whole house clean, or in my case, like, you get the whole office, like, cleaned out and turn it into, like, a working space like that. Like, that's not a healthy way, I feel, to approach productivity. Again, it's this, with what's going on, with having so much time, and just, again, going back to all this pressure that a lot of people feel because they have the time, they need to get stuff done. And yes, there are some people that are still working at home. There are people that are trying to homeschool their kids, which, good for you. Like, all the props to you, and I really, really hope that you at least, like, have some goddamn chocolate every once in a while, or maybe, have a cocktail before you go to bed, or at least some kind of guilty pleasure for a job well done. Like, honestly, guys, like, you're doing a good job. It's okay to rest. And I think the biggest thing that we can try and take away from this quarantine thing is learning to check in with ourselves. Like, listen to our body, listen to what it's telling us, and, go along with those needs. Because right now, everybody's in survival mode. And what I mean by that is everybody is focusing right now on making sure that they have enough to, have a decent, keep their living space, making sure that they have food on the table, just basic human, needs. And I was actually talking to my counselor about it, and she brought something up that I wanted to share with you, and that is Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs. So, do this. Okay. So, this is a pyramid theory that was created by American psychologist Abraham Maslow, and the theory states that once us as humans are secure in one aspect of the pyramid, then we start to focus on the next, and it continues up to there until we get to the very top. And these sections represents the 5 basic human motivations. So it's the 5 basic reasons that drive us, to do things, to live, essentially. And so with us, when I mean that us being in survival mode right now, like, we're pretty much on the 2 bottom bricks right now. Like, possibly going up into the 3rd, because we want to make sure that family members are okay, we're checking in with them, and, we're really craving that human connection right now because of social distancing. And that's where most of our energy is going, is in making sure that all these things are provided for. And what that means is that, guys, we are stressed the fuck out. And when you're stressed out, whether you know it or not, it builds up in the body. And it manifests in different ways for everybody. And I mean, that's why it's so important to listen to your body and what's going on. And I understand with all this stress and with us being in survival mode, like, we feel like nothing is in our control. Like, we're doing what we told, we're listening to the professionals, we're following the CDC, as best as we can, and it's getting to the point where people are looking for something that they can control, just something to make them, feel a sense of normalcy, something that they feel that they can accomplish and gives them a sense of accomplishment, something that, is, super easy to do and that can be done, and eventually, this is where productivity comes back in, because we try and find things that are in our immediate area, in our immediate environment, that we can control, that we can actively work on. Yes, probably to try and keep our mind from going crazy from everything that's going on, but also, again, the sense of control. And guys, the whole thing is there's no such thing as control, especially when it comes to stuff like this. Like, we can't control, our environment. We can't control Mother Nature. We can't control what is going on. Like, we can try and prepare all we want. We can, dot all our I's, cross our T's, recite our ABCs, know our 1, 2, 3s, just like have everything that we could possibly think of at our fingertips. But something's still gonna happen, and there's nothing we can do about it. And it's this whole sense of wanting that control and all this productivity stuff that people, keep trying to push, that what it boils down to is it's not healthy, you guys. And another thing I want people to try and take away from this is, if you feel all this anxiety, all this pressure and everything building up, like, just don't fight it. Like, if your body is telling you something, don't ignore it. Don't, try and push it down and try and, pile more stuff on top of each other. Like, do the whole backpack scenario. Like, just throw everything in, and then once it gets too heavy, then deal with it. No. That's not a healthy way. At least I think that's not a healthy way to deal with all the anxiety and everything that's going on. So give yourself permission to rest. Give yourself permission to have a lazy day. Give yourself permission to eat junk food if that's what you really want. And when people are stressed, your body naturally craves sugar. So go eat a goddamn cookie. Please. Just forget fad diets, please. Or, if eating healthy is your thing, then, go for it. But it's okay to splurge every once in a while. It's okay to relax. You don't constantly have to be plugged in. Boundaries are really important right now, you guys. So please exercise them. And if you don't have boundaries, come up with some. Like, some of the happiest people in the world have very strong, hard boundaries on what they want in their space and what they don't. Communicate with yourself and communicate with others. Like, I know my one friend was trying to get a webcam, and they're all out of stock because everybody is purchasing them and getting a hold of each other, which is great. Like, connection is such a big thing right now. Like, I feel people are really more than ever trying to reach out, keep in touch, and it's a beautiful thing, you guys. Like, we're always connected. Always. And I know it doesn't feel like it right now, but everybody is weaved into the giant, web of the ecosystem that's known as the universe. Like, if you really need somebody, find someone. Talk to them. Call them. Do what you have to, but you are not alone. I know everything is hard right now with being isolated, and it's taking a toll on some people harder than others. Some people are stuck at home alone. Some people, are stuck with their significant others, which, as nice as that can be, it also creates a lot of stress. And people are also home with their kids, and some people are at their wits' ends, and it's rough, guys. But we can do it, because after all this is said and done, and we get thrown back into whatever schedule we had beforehand, it's not going to be the same. After, all this, I really don't think a lot of people are going to be, it's going to be a definite change in the environment, not just like the external environment, but I'm talking about like internal. And it's going to be an adjustment, and I really hope that this time of isolation and introspection and reflection will have people look at their environment and everything in a different light, and really think about what it is that they really truly need, not what they think that again, with all this pressure of I need to have X, Y, and Z to be happy. I really want you to try and think about you and what you want and what you need for you. So give yourself permission, guys. Set boundaries for yourself, and above all, try and have some fun. This is a serious situation. I understand it, and tension is starting to really rise, because a lot of people are wanting to get back to normal life. They're wanting to get back to a normal rhythm, and people are pushing for that, and it's a lot. And it's difficult for people that choose to stay home, and they're okay with staying home. But it's another thing to be told to stay home when you have the option to go out and do what you want. So it's a really stressful time, but I really feel, guys, we can do this. We can do this. Have some faith in yourself. Give yourself permission. Set boundaries. And have fun. So I wish you guys the very best. I hope you all are staying safe and just being understanding and compassionate, and really trying to reach out and make connections if you need it, and really think about your needs. I hope to see you guys soon. May your inner light shine forever bright, and I'll talk to you in the next one, guys. Take care. Love you.